am really happy to give this presentation because it's a pretty big step forward in our climate action strategy. So you weren't able to join us when we were originally adopting this, but we adopted in November of 2023. There's two components. There's greenhouse gas reduction strategy, and then there's a climate adaptation piece. And today we're just talking about the greenhouse gas emission side. If you want to skip to the next piece. So we have put this pie chart together, and this is for last year, and it illustrates where we're at in the context of our different types of greenhouse gas emissions. And you can see that our mobile combustion is our primary greenhouse gas emission source. So we looked, while we were doing our climate action strategy, we looked at three different kind of paths to reducing mobile combustion. We looked at electrification, hybridization, and renewable fuel usage. And we preferred renewable fuel usage because it's a drop-in fuel that's chemically identical to petroleum products. So in this last year, operations, procurement, and environmental have been looking at what would it look like in terms of cost to do this change. And so I'm pretty much going to turn this over to Larry to discuss that, but what we are looking at is a 77% reduction year over year if we adopt renewable fuels for the entire fleet, which is possible. So next slide.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Larry Landgraver. I'm the Equipment and Fleet Manager here at the Port of Longview. So kind of a renewable diesel analysis here. So the Port put out an RFP in 2024 for all fuels, which included petroleum-based diesel, number 2, gasoline, and renewable diesels, both dyed and clear on both of those. And what we got back from that RFP was that we see that pricing is within a 1% variation of traditional fuel right now. And actually the taxes are a little bit lower on renewable diesel, as you can see from the summary below. And as Amy said, the advantage of this is it really is a drop-in fuel. So we don't have to clear out our tanks. We can switch to renewable diesel. We can also go back to traditional diesel at any time. The diesel is actually supported by a local vendor for our supplier here, so which the RFP was able to produce. And the fuel is actually stored in Longview and is readily available at any time that we need them. The other advantage of the RFP that we had was we were actually able to negotiate no delivery fees with this local vendor, which is something that the port has had to pay delivery fees in the past. So that was another good thing that came out, along with a very competitive pricing structure that we were able to get. The other thing too is working with our labor partners here and other port staff. I mean, it is supported by both parties to make this transition. But again, I really want to emphasize is that we can go back and forth at any time. We don't end, so there's no challenges with that. So, you guys have any questions?
Larry, I do. I'm in DC right now, and we're hearing discussion about renewable diesel, especially regarding rail, and the fact that the railroads are really being pressured to reduce their carbon footprint just like everybody else is. And I question the long-term availability of the product in terms of all the competition for using it. I know aviation is a big deal too, and they want renewable diesel. So are you convinced that this is going to continue to be readily available to us, and particularly at these prices? I'm thinking, if this is a scarce product, then that price perhaps will go up. So what's the deal with that?
That's a great question, Commissioner. So as of right now, it is available. And one big advantage of the RFP is that we're able to go back and forth. And so if it doesn't become available or the price, becomes too high that the port would like to make the transition back, we can do that at any time. So we do have the flexibility if any of those things happen in the future. But as of right now, it is readily available for us to use at the amount that we need to use here to support our operations.
Well, I got to say, I'm shocked that the pricing is as it is, and kudos to you folks that went out and sought a resource that to come in at this kind of a really competitive price. So, good for you guys, and I look forward to utilizing this, and what a great opportunity it is for us to reduce our carbon footprint and continue our environmental pathway here forward.
Any other questions?
Nope, just great job. Everything's coming up Port of Longview today, so keep kicking ass.
All right. Thank you, commissioners.